Welcome back to the Dallas Meetup Dime, where we get straight to the value in 10 minutes or less. I'm your host, Carson Gibbons, and today I'm joined by the Director of Anna Economic Development Corporation, Miss Natasha Roach. Natasha, how are you?
I'm wonderful. It's great to be here, Carson. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you. We haven't seen you since the Byron. We recently reconnected, but to kind of catch our audience back up, Anna actually sponsored Dallas Meetup last November.
That's correct.
Going into our commercial real estate cohort. So I think the audience is familiar with your face and anxious for a regroup.
Well, it's been wonderful to see you. Obviously, the Byron was a lot of fun. Anna is, gosh, from the last time we've talked, we have grown exponentially and had a lot of things come our way, which has been very exciting. We are the 5th fastest growing city in the nation, which is, that's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And you think about where we were in 2019 and where we are now, it's 100% true. We're trying to keep up.
I remember where you were in late last year. It was like 32,000 residents. Mm-hmm. When we reconnected at the Byron, I immediately go, what's the population now? And I think you said 34.9.
We just passed 35,000.
Every time I ask you, it goes up, which is just insane to me. But tell us more about that.
Well, it's great because Anna is a community everybody wants to be in, and we love that. We are now, with all of this growth that's come in, we've kind of taken a pause and said, okay, what do we want to do for our community? What do we want to be? What do we want to recruit for? We call them our neighbors. What are the things they want to see? And so with the vision of council and our board of directors, we're really taking a look and thinking, how do we want our future to look? Mm-hmm. We've taken on the downtown project, which is the redevelopment of downtown. We're super excited about that because our neighbors are very much wanting a heart of their community. And so we've gone through some things like, what is the branding and identity going to be? What do we want that to look like over the span of 10 years? What are the businesses that we want there? We have the people. Now we need to develop their heart of their community that they spend all of their time in.
For those that haven't been to Anna, you said the redevelopment of downtown. Like, what exists today and what is the future state?
That's the fun part. There's not a whole lot that exists. We're not your traditional downtown that has a square. So it's a little bit of a challenge. We have a street with some old buildings, but with the help of our team, we've put together a plan that takes kind of the very center. We block it with some of the streets that are around, and we're starting there and going to work our way out.
Okay. It'll be interesting to watch that because do you need that focal point for every net new city that we're building here in America?
I think you do. I do. I mean, if you think about the surrounding communities, everybody has a downtown. Mm-hmm. Everybody has that one thing that's very special about their community. And that doesn't mean you don't want to go visit somebody else's downtown, but in Anna, we want one too. Mm-hmm. And we want people to come and visit ours. A
nucleus or a home base, mm-hmm. so to speak. You talked about kind of calculating your plans in relation to what everyone around you is doing, which I find fascinating. Like, kind of filling in the gaps almost, mm-hmm. sand, water, sticks, stones. Mm-hmm. Where is that conversation netting out right now as you see Plano, Frisco, all of these big players do a lot of big things and recruitment of teams? And
Yes. So while downtown is important and that's going to create an identity, we are going bigger picture. We still have a lot of land that surrounds us. And we want to focus now on, we have the people that live in Anna. We want them to work in Anna too. Mm-hmm. So we'll be focusing towards what we call mortgage paying jobs. We want those industries to come in and look at what Anna has to offer and, so that our residents can work and live and play, which, that's a tagline a lot of people mm-hmm. use, but there's something to be said about that. Residents don't want to necessarily drive 45 minutes, an hour, and we want to be able to give them the opportunity to have those jobs in the city that they live in.
Do you have data on where the biggest buckets of commuters from Anna are going to work on a daily basis?
They're going south.
Really?
They are. But, when you go to the north of us, we've got the new TI development that's coming in, and that's actually been really good for us because, they're bringing in a lot of the workforce, and you have businesses that are ancillary to that. And so we're prime location for that. And so that allows us to try to capture, it's just kind of traffic pattern, everybody goes to the south. Mm-hmm. So, when you get to a certain maybe 15 or 20 minutes, they're just gonna go south. But we wanna encourage everybody to maybe look the other direction and come to the north.
Who within city leadership owns that North Star metric of population? Because I realize I'm always asking you about that, but you represent the EDC. Mm-hmm. So you're more business focused, I would assume, like economic empowerment. Mm-hmm. So is that a lagging indicator of the good job that you and your team are doing, or?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just, when you think back to 2019 when we were small, it's an identity thing, right? I mean, you're trying to keep up with all of the stuff that's migrating, and the city is doing what it can to maintain infrastructure and, keep up with our utilities and meet those needs. But what comes with that after it is building out the commercial base of the city, right? We have a great population. You have a great tax base as far as property tax comes, but the next goal, at least for EDC, is we want to offset that for them. We want to bring in those retail services and generate that sales tax so that, when things like the Texas legislature make it difficult to do our job, we don't have to pass that on to the taxpayers. So there is a little bit of catching up, but the rule of thumb is usually commercial won't come unless you have the density. And we definitely have that. And that's opened the door for a lot of great commercial coming our way.
How do you spend your time in like high level buckets when you could go boil the ocean and hey, come one, come all, but you have a targeted approach? And I mean, how honed can you get in that in terms of where you're deploying marketing dollars, spending your time? I see a lot of these EDCs going to Japan, it seems like every other week to recruit companies. It seems like maybe Anna is in a more early stage start than that, where you can recruit more hyper locally. But what does that mix look like for you? Where do you go?
So absolutely, that is true. We still look locally. We are engaged in a lot of local conferences and organizations that keep it at the ground level, if you will. But we also have become a member of the Texas Economic Development Corporation for the state of Texas, which is a higher scale of economic development. And that's where those trips to Asia and international connections come in. And we're ready for that. We're ready to take our town to the next level. We have the retail jobs. We need the headquarters. We need the technical jobs. We need the manufacturing jobs. And so when we're looking at how we spend our money, we are looking at what is going to be the ROI for us that meets the needs of the community. And joining this organization that puts us at a state level is one of the ways that we do that.
This might be a sensitive, or maybe I'm going too deep here, but are you in bids competitively with the Planos and Friscos of the world for these corporate HQs, or are we still kind of summoning the ammo to get to that point?
We're summoning the ammo.
Okay.
They're established cities. So, what's there brings more. We've got to we're starting there, right? The minute we get one, others will follow. It's kind of, if you build it, you will come. And we're at the early stages of that. We're figuring out what are the pockets that meet the criteria for these types of businesses, and what does that mean for the future 5 years down the road? Do we have the utilities? Do we have the infrastructure? So we're really putting a plan together so that when that big deal does come, we're ready for it. And then hopefully that leads to, substantial
domino effect.
Exactly.
I mean, they just need permission, someone else to come in. And that's so fascinating. What type of pride are you instilling in the residents? Like when people say, I live in Anna, what are they also saying about that? What is their, source of pride as far as that goes? Like, what would they say?
I think they would say that, they came to Anna because they wanted a small town feel. They wanted to be out of the hustle and bustle. They like the close-knit community. Some of them will tell you we're growing too quick. That's not what they came here for, but it's a balance. So, the way that our city is laid out, we have 75 that runs right down the west side of it. That's great for commercial revenue. That's great for, just bringing people in or by the city. But then you go a little bit the other direction and you get away from the big commercial, and now you have the small town feel with our mom and pops and then our downtown. So they really kind of, if they get both, right? They get their small town community, but then they can just run down the street and hit their big box that they want instead of driving all the way to McKinney or, a neighboring city.
It seems like communities like Anna, Salina, especially where like a major roadway is still being built through to like provide better access, are ripe for the picking in this moment. Almost like buying in Plano a generation or two ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when we see we're sitting here in downtown Dallas, and obviously the lamenting news of all the teams departing at the 2031 end of the lease. I think it's just symbolic of Anna being the fifth fastest growing city in the nation. I think it's just a lagging indicator of that, and the geo spread of like, we're going almost all the way up to Oklahoma at this point. And with Chisholm Trail Parkway normalizing south of the Metroplex, south of 30 and down to Benbrook and Joshua. I think it's just symbolic.
Well, and it's, it's funny too, because you think about all of these cities around us that are established. And I kind of tease that we're kind of like the new kid on the block because we're just getting started. And, the benefit that we have is we've seen what's worked in other cities and what hasn't worked, or what they've decided they're going to be identified as. And so that gives us a little bit more of a head start than starting from scratch. But we are very much in this new stage of developing this really great city and community. And we're strategically located, like you said, between Oklahoma and downtown Dallas. So there's a lot of potential there, and the EDC's goal is to make sure everybody understands that, we have that. We have what you are looking for, and to come talk to us, come see us.
I'm excited for the future of Anna with you at the helm. Congrats on your recent, promotion to director.
Yes, thank you.
It's cool to see that they're going to ride with the one that brought them to the dance. And I think that the knowledge pass through is there. You don't have to transfer that to anybody else. You've seen the movie as it's been written up until this point, and also been in more sophisticated situations further down the line where you know how to react in these situations and grow it to the next level.
Yes, I am very excited about this position. And one of the reasons I came to Anna in the first place is, in my previous role, it was a new city. It was a very young city, and I was there for 12 years. And so, I was part of helping it build into what it is today. And so it excites me to be able to do that all over again from Anna, and look 12 years down the road and say, this is what they are.
Right.
This is what they've become.
This is my first before, and now this is my second after.
But I'm invested in it, I care about the community. When we're talking about what projects work or what decisions we should make, my first question is always, okay, what is this going to mean for our community? Is this good for the community? Sometimes what you think is what, this big deal that you wanted that sits in before you at the table, and you start looking at it and you start thinking, maybe that's not the best fit for us. And maybe that's not what our neighbors really need. And I think that's an important part, because you are serving your neighbors. You're there to build their city and where they live. So it's important to think about, yes, this may be a really great project, but does it really fit into what we are and what we want to be? And sometimes that's a hard decision. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But I always believe it brings in something better that meets the needs of the community.
Rising tide lifts all ships. How can we help? Where should we go to find out more information? I also want to plug your newsletter. I think you guys do a great.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's weekly or
it's
monthly. But it's a really comprehensive, robust newsletter. How can we subscribe to that and get the latest?
So opportunityannatexas.com. You can go on our website there and subscribe. You can find my email and email me and tell me that you're interested in it, and I'll be happy to send you the email. The more we can get, yes. And we do post it every month on social, and you can sign up for the link that way as well.
Beautiful. Natasha Roach, Anna EDC, thank you so much.
Thank you.